Okay, so just for clarification, there's nobody here but me right now. Um, I don't even know why I'm doing this. I guess I'm just conditioned now to expect some sort of live talk back segment of Cry of Man now after each episode, even if Tanking Man was run by um, Rebecca and Becca, and they were, you know, bullshitters. But me right now. I I don't know what I guess I just don't know what to say about what we just watched. I mean, okay, so first of all, I guess what I can say is congratulations to all of you who called in and actually made it on air. And double congratulations and a personal thanks from me for anybody who actually spoke on air and got something done. Specifically, blessings to whoever got on the air with Ghost Lady at the last minute asking what to do and telling them to smash the vase. You saved the day. I have no idea if things were going to go straight down during that moment, but I don't know at what points anything was viewer dependent because obviously things were very viewer dependent when it came to Cry of Man. But I don't know how much. I don't know how much was planned to be plotline or what was supposed to be up to you guys. Yeah, for anybody who's confused right now, this is me being completely off the cuff. If any of you watch Mason, Nick Spheres, sometimes he just does random live streams, and for once, I got the inclination to go ahead and do this myself after Cry of Man tonight. I guess in lieu of Tanking Man, the fake after show series. Uh, Shout out to Shivering Stencil, thank you, and Alkali for the super chats that rolled in. Yeah, I do have the super chats for anybody who, or just anybody who is persistent who wants to bring up a topic. I don't know. I'm I'm at the point right now where it's like, I guess I just need to talk about this openly with you guys and just randomly let my thoughts flow. Mainly because there's no chance in hell that I'm going to go to work on this right away. I am absolutely freaking exhausted from Halloween. This was a wonderful production that happened at the absolute worst time for me to do anything with it. So I've just kind of got to sit and absorb it and slowly piece things together under the moments that I don't feel broken and exhausted. Um, what is Tanking Man? People are asking. Tanking Man was a fake after show series that came on the Adult Swim live stream after Cry of Man, and it featured. See, I wish that Tanking Man wasn't a thing because Tanking Man completely complicates the entire idea of the project and any interpretation that you could have of it. Because now you're not just focused on Cry of Man and what was going on with that. Now you have to worry about the meta plot line and the awareness behind Tanking Man. Because now you have the aspect of the show that is acknowledging it as a show created by Wham City Comedy, where things are going on with that, and it's an entire sort of Tim and Eric production on cinema at the cinema mixed with Decker series sort of deal. If any of you guys are familiar with that, and I don't know, man. My mind hurts too, Comet. My mind hurts too. I mean, Wham City always makes my mind hurt, but in a way that's good. Like I'm a masochist. At this point, I'm just kind of digging around at the bottom of a bucket of popcorn and saying, okay, the hell just happened? And is it worth it right now to even jump at it right away? Because I loved it. I loved the hell out of it. But part of me feels empty. Rock Solid Handle says, I think it is a philosophical metaphor. He keeps asking questions if you left the home, done something with your life, and how evil just consumes you. I don't know. Also, I love your videos. Thank you. I've got my own theories, of course, my own thoughts on what Tank Man is supposed to be and why he's there, and everything that came down to the viewers being involved and what their purpose was, and the general themes of things that are happening, especially highlighted during the Tanking Man segment. It's tough. Robbie ended up writing and directing this one, apparently, according to some of the tweets online from Wham City. And that makes sense because in terms of things that you can pull apart and piece together and kind of compare to metaphors and similes and abstract art and all that, it's very similar in the vein of Children of the Mirror, in that there's not so much puzzle aspect as there is artistic metaphor, and the content is the message. Like, the impression that you get from the content is the message, and literally what is happening, rather than in terms of metaphors, where we would see that with unedited footage of a bear. This house has people in it. You can tell the difference between Robbie and Alan's writing, says Edward Appledelli. Yeah, you definitely can. You definitely can. More Blue Path than Red? Well, yeah, you know what? I would say so. I would say that this is way more Blue Path than Red Path. So in the future, we might get a Nightmind video on this. Yeah, I mean, it's a Wham City comedy, guys. I love their stuff, and they always have an impression on me, and there's definitely a lot to talk about with this. It's just, I don't know if I have nearly as much to say this time as I have before, in terms of what you guys usually expect me to talk about when it comes to this kind of material. There's a lot to talk about in the sense of if I were Nick Spears talking about this. But, okay, so this is more Twin Peaks kind of analysis, I'm thinking, than unedited footage kind of stuff. Like I said, the content is the message. The content is the meaning. That's the things that happen both in the story and what we do interacting with it are the message, I suppose. Shivering Stencil says, I wish I could have seen the episodes so I know what in the fuck is going on. You can see the episodes. They're all archived on AdultSwim.com's streams. Let me go ahead and grab that link for you so I can toss that down here. Yeah, the entire Cry of Man series was archived as I expected it to be. There's no way that they would agree to do something like this and not have some form of being able to access it after the fact. Is the logo going to stay like that? No, this is the Halloween Schlock Party logo that I've had. I just need to change it over now that we're into November. I just haven't touched it yet. And yeah, the Goon says, Tank Man was a god created by the world and family around him in my mind. Love you as always, Nick. Thank you, Goon. Maybe. They definitely treated him as such. It's very old-time soap opera for sure, where the patriarch of the family is the god, and there's some sort of sneaky heiress around, and the family is all in different directions, and there's this high-class society, major business thing going down. And somebody, Hayden, highlighted something that I've been thinking from the start. I think a major theme of the series is miscommunication. Anyone else want to add to that? Yeah, 100%. I don't want to give too many of my thoughts on exactly what kind of miscommunication, but for sure, for sure. If Wham City always deals with some facet of human psychology or the human experience in their work, and the highlight of This House Has People in It were the eyes and our trouble with interpretation through eyes, then this one is ears. This one is definitely ears, for better and worse. Bruce Campbell, fun name, asks if he thinks we were supposed to side with Georgiev. I think that was a choice for us to make because Georgiev presented his case. He wasn't just um, a villain or an evil force. He presented his case for what we thought. Is it just me, or was True Day all just a dream? Like we woke up on the beach and maybe the colors are to represent emotions. I don't know. I don't think so. Um, Ben, the biggest gay, says, I just watched the entirety of the Marble Hornets Explained series that you did. And I just wanted to say that your work is astonishing, amazing. Thank you. But Alkali said, I'm sure we'd all be happy to see you take whatever direction you want, whether surreal or just train of thought. Don't worry about normal videos. Yeah, I have no idea what this is going to be for coverage, if anything. What do I think about Tanking Mann that happened last night? I was with a group of creators, actually, watching last night's episode, and that was an experience because we sat there kind of looking at each other, questioning what the hell is going on. And that's a piece that you can definitely stop to talk about. The shadows. Oh, the shadow snake. It took a minute for me to figure out what the name was in leet language there. Says, I'm going to use this to advertise the Discord and subreddit. Also keep up the good work, and what do you think the major influences behind the series are? Like the kinds of characters and such. Okay, so something that did pop out of the woodwork for us. The reason that Juglet is dead, most likely, which Robbie and Cricket kind of explained in no uncertain terms during the episode after Juglet's death, was that we could have gotten away without Juglet dying. That was completely on the audience, completely screwing that up. Because we were supposed to give code words to Robbie's character of Frank to satisfy his questions, which all pertain to Lovecraft stories. And many people in the live chat for the Adult Swim stream were writing that and apparently putting it together. And I kept seeing during the episodes somebody advertising, I believe, a subreddit for True Day. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull that up and just confirm that for a moment. Yeah, it's a Cry of Man subreddit called True Time, r/True Time. And it seems a few, not many at all, like a handful of people were coming through here to discuss things. And, the existence of a subreddit that kept getting advertised during the stream kind of brings to mind the idea that everybody, and this was probably Wham City's intention, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe they wanted to see if this was just something that would happen. I think maybe their intention was for people to come together who were viewing on a community forum of some kind and try to solve it as a community of callers so that whoever got through managed to help people. And if that had actually happened, then we probably would have had the answers for Frank that were needed instead of just one or two people in the chat dropping them during Juglet's death scene when everybody was clearly too late. So miscommunication as a concept, I think we have that right there. Is that we all were in this together alone. We were all in this together independently. We did not come together in order to work on this, which, you know, in hindsight, I guess that we definitely freaking should have. For the amount of people that could have been randomly pooled from those who were viewing that could have gotten together to work on this, anybody could have had the solution at any time. People were helping each other out in the actual live stream chat for Adult Swim's website. Nobody was going anywhere else after the fact to kind of piece things together. So Juglet could have been saved. That was a failure. I guess I have to forgive Cheryl or Shirley or whoever Barry called them during the Barry and Martinez moment for completely destroying that QuickTime event and crushing the coming together of Barry and Martinez that was obviously set up for us to kick off. JT Wyndham says, so for someone that missed the boat on this, am I still able to get involved in the full story, or is this event over with? Side note, I love your work and said I missed so many series in progress. Thank you. You can totally get in on the boat on this. You can watch the archived streams. Let me actually get a more specific link here, because I guess the one that I posted earlier was not targeted enough. Here, let me just drop them in the chat. And I guess maybe I'll leave this up. Maybe I'll leave this live stream up and have people watch it afterwards for my thoughts, and I'll just post. Hey, you know what? Maybe that can be my video on it in itself. If the entire idea is communication and people talking live, here we go. Here's your here's your Night Mind video on Cry of Man. Live and interactive discussion in place of take calls. 123 ZC1 says take calls. You know what? I just might do that. You know what? I've got an idea. I wouldn't know how to pull people into Google though, because I'm on Google Hangouts. I don't know how to and God knows I can't rip them right from Discord. Yeah, let me just give you guys my phone number. Sure, you know. There's no way that can backfire in my face in like 15 minutes. Did anyone have some kind of delve into La Colombo or the website or something? I only have mobile access to things, so I can't do source code or something. I don't know. Is it a genuine brand? Is La Colombo genuine? Oh, Jesus. Okay, hold on.
Hello there.
Hey, hold on. Let's test this for a minute. See if anybody.
Hi, Nick.
Yes. Hi, Lego. Let's
Okay,
give
I
it.
muted the.
Hey, hold on a minute. Let's just see if they can actually hear this over the speakers. Yeah, I know it's immersive. Let's give it a minute to see if YouTube can actually hear this. Because if they only hear you as a faint echo, then it's not even going to be worth it.
Okay. Hello, yes. Hi, YouTube. This is Nick's Attack Poodle Lego Fan 94.
Okay, they can hear you. All right. Yes, this is the mod for my Patreon Discord. So of course he jumps in first, as he does whenever there's a chance to embarrass me. Anyhow, what did you think, Lego?
Crazy adventure, and they still haven't posted 8 yet, so I haven't seen it because I was getting 60 kilobyte internet tonight, and I don't know why.
Oh, well, you got screwed. What can I say? You're gonna have to wait for it. It's got a happy ending, I guess. Can you call this a happy ending? What's the last thing you
Frank
remember
went
seeing?
straight to hell. Like, there was so much going on, and there was so much stuff with it. I think me up so much over the series, and I know this is just sidetracking over what was really going on, but the anachronistic technology and how you have stuff that is outdated mixed in with stuff that is completely beyond our understanding. Got me. Was that how can you have a world that can invent both electricity and tape recorders, yet no one in that universe has ever heard of a telephone? We're all there.
Yeah. Let me just I'm just asking, and you probably just saw it now as well. I'm asking for people in the Discord if they want to get on live so we can have an open room. Okay, yeah. All right, YouTube. If any of you are actually patrons in my Discord, or Patreon supporters, and you're in my Discord, and you've got a mic, you can jump in on this. For everybody else, that's who you're going to be hearing are my Patreon supporters on Discord. So I'm going to go ahead and open a room there. Just a moment. Let me get this set up here. Okay, Lego, I'm going to hang up and go over to Moonlight. Okay, so everybody should be popping in now, and you should be hearing them in a minute. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm an idiot. I forgot that nobody has permissions on this one. Darkroom. Darkroom, actually. Go to Darkroom, everybody. Okay, let's test this real quick. And also, just to kind of present to YouTube this miracle. Daft, say something.
Hello, how are you doing this evening, Mr. Potter?
There we go. Okay, and David, you're here too. Or is that Kayla? We might have our friend David of Midnight Marinara in here as well, I see. Anyway, guys, this is kind of, I guess, an open room discussion of Cry of Man, similar to and
All right, take 2.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, we got David of Midnight Marinara on the line as well. David, tell me that you actually have been watching Cry of Man this entire time.
Y'all, you gotta mute your YouTube stream. It's gonna cause feedback.
I did mute my YouTube stream though.
I muted mine.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. It's muted.
Okay, so
I have no idea what's going on. I just saw that you were streaming, and I was like, okay, I didn't know about this, so I popped in, and then kind of got a gist of what was going on, and then you were, as soon as I was looking at the video, you said, hey, everybody head over to Discord. I'm like, well, I guess I might as well pay this guy a visit. It's been a little while.
So somebody calling in but doesn't really have any idea what's going on. See, it's a perfect repetition of everything that just went on with Cry of Man. It's perfect. Metaphor.
Wonderful.
Boom. Well, what we are doing now, David, and for anybody else who doesn't understand, is Wham City Comedy put on an 8-night live and interactive live stream project over adultswim.com, which was a soap opera that you could call into and kind of talk to I guess, talk to the characters and kind of guide events as they happen. Just want to, before I continue, just want to give this shout out to I Play Piano in My PJs on YouTube. Their super chat saying, use this to buy a toy for Binks and keep up the awesome work. Yeah, the baby that appeared a little bit earlier, as some people heard over the microphone. But that's what we're discussing right now. And the entire idea behind Cry of Man was that you were watching this fake soap opera, waiting for people to call in and either move the plot forward by talking to the characters, or completely derail things and make fools of themselves and embarrass everybody else secondhand. So that happened, and afterwards I kind of had an event called Tanking Mann, which was an even more fake show on Adult Swim, hosted by these two girls named Rebecca, who didn't even watch the show and were using it to kind of pimp this brand called La Colombe Final Draft, what the hell am I saying? Draft Latte drinks. And basically was another kind of call-in show. And the entire thing is about talking live and just kind of spewing stream of thoughts and consciousness, maybe getting somewhere with it, maybe not. So in an odd twist, this might be my video on Cry of Man. And that's what we're dealing with here.
So that was enough exposition for me to talk about it too.
Yeah, I see that David dug down for a minute there by accident. That's what's happening with this, I guess. Let me check what some of the people are saying here.
That was odd. Okay, yeah, I'm still here.
Did you hear any of what I said?
I heard everything. For some reason, a server mute kicked in. I wish I could say I was. I mean, I heard little bits about it, but I think that's a pretty succinct explanation of what I've heard, kind of floating through the grapevine about this. That's once again, it seems like they knocked it out of the park with a interesting premise.
They did. It was extremely entertaining, very, very thoroughly entertaining.
Fantastic.
But at the same time, like, my heart is full, but my brain is dissatisfied, I guess. It's nothing like anything they've ever done. There's so, it feels like there's so few puzzle pieces for me to pick up and put together and spin around and look at.
Well, I mean, it is Wham City, but like, I guess considering their last big project had the intrinsic rabbit hole of, you know, one video that eventually led to just tons and tons and tons of hidden content, and there's just not as much of that here, is there?
No, not at all. This is way more in the vein of Children of the Mirror, which the content is the message, and there might be tiny extra things, but it's very much an aside.
Huh.
Oh, shout out to Daft and Ren for
with bigger projects, it will take more time and effort. So they might be working on something bigger, like on the side, and then having these little things to put out, just to satisfy the people.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's not about satisfaction. It's, you know, what they see and what they think is going to be awesome. And this was awesome. It was totally awesome. It's like every side of me that loves going to their shows and loves their performances and loves the creative stuff and surprising and impressive stuff they do, love the hell out of this. The side of me that, you know, wants to be classic Nick Nocturne and have something to peel apart and dig up and piece together is kind of sitting here lifting my mug, looking inside and saying, where's the fucking coffee?
There's no tea leaves at the bottom of this. How am I supposed to glean this?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm drinking coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes it more difficult.
Have you seen the Tumblr quote of you saying, "Hi, I'm Nick Nocturne," after looking through 120 minutes of content. I was able to dig up 100 extra videos by looking at these.
That's one of my favorite Tumblr posts.
Oh, it's I'm like, yeah.
Yep. Oh, Sutton Plant in the chat did a super chat saying, "I was Cheryl and I failed everyone. I want to formally apologize. I did my best, but I sunk the ship. Also, keep up the great work, Nick. You're right. You are forgiven. You are forgiven, Cheryl. I mean, honestly, it might have been a sort of quick time event like that. Maybe it wasn't. Either way, if either one of them had trepidation about carrying through with that scene, you saved them."
I realize I'm late to the party when it comes to this, but I'm definitely going to be playing catch up on the whole thing when I get a chance. But it's been a crazy busy October, and only just now am I coming down off that. But
no, you're telling me, man. This is the worst time to have any sort of need to study a Wham City product. Like, beautiful gift.
Is it kind of a relief
worst
then in that
possible
case,
time.
that you don't have to dive as deep into this one?
I'd say so, especially because this might just be the video itself. Because I mean, you can't do better for theming than what we're doing right now.
That's true.
And God knows I love my
That's true.
theming.
I actually hadn't thought about that, but this is that's ideal.
Yeah.
What are the people talking now? Like, what is the chat or voice chat channel for that? For this?
Oh, it's on the dark room.
Some people are
Tiers set up
messaging
right?
me and saying that they can listen, but they can't actually type in the channel. Also, the echo is atrocious, and it's really hard to hear myself talk or anybody.
Well, that's your own fault for whatever you got going on over on that end.
It's
But-
not me. It's David.
King's fault.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at the dark room and I'm seeing that that's an issue. Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna tweak
Headphones.
this and put it on headphones because apparently it is echoing pretty bad.
Okay.
Uncle Shen.
And yeah, of course, on
David,
YouTube
please
Live.
get headphones. You're looping. I'm sorry. Give me a moment. I'll mute while I get that set up.
See, guys, it sounds just like Tanking Man right now. People talking over each other, technical difficulties. Only a genuine,
Train wreck. I can
genuinely
give
light sense of
every
what's
single
happening.
person here talk permissions.
Don't do
Against
this.
your judgment.
Don't you dare do this to us.
Do it.
Yeah.
To revisit your previous mistakes.
Yeah, definitely.
I won't, because I'd probably delete the channel again.
Yeah, no, you do something. Oh,
Anyway,
and our friend
let's
Andrew
talk-
Muno's here. Andrew, are you plugged
hi.
in? Have you been
How are
watching? Have you been watching Cry of Man?
I watched the first episode. and
Okay,
then
how does this sound?
I got deep in some work and I got lost.
I
Really
think we should be
quick,
better
so
now.
I got to go back to it.
Excellent. Yeah, you guys sound good. I'm not hearing any.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, it's been a crazy journey. I think if there's a more formal video than this, then it's nice to know that most people are actually playing catch up right now, or are going to need to play catch up by going to Adult Swim's site and checking the archives first. So that buys me a few days to actually sit and really think this over and not stare at a wall asking myself what the hell just happened.
Yeah, there's a there's kind of a beauty. What?
You're a little too loud.
If it's not one thing, it's another. All right, excuse me.
Yeah.
How about now? Is that better?
Yeah, I'd say that's
Yeah, a
better.
little.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, just speak
Okay.
kind of softly.
Okay. I'm sorry, I project.
It's okay, it's natural. That's what we do.
And that's natural, children. I had a point and I can't remember it now. Yeah, I was gonna say, in some ways there's kind of a beauty to not necessarily knowing everything that's going on. I mean, deep dives are great, and it's what you do. But with this, it's like, I think maybe here I am trying to be succinct about something I don't know that much about, and I apologize. Maybe I should depart, familiarize myself with the material better, and then return.
You know, it is whatever. I mean, this is just us kind of doing this thing live right now. So, how informed or uninformed you are, it still kind of reflects the series. I did want to just pick up on the super chat here from Aaron W. Soldier Aaron here. I think how satisfying or unsatisfying it was up to us. I think we fell into their trap and fell into miscommunication, just like the characters. And yeah, that's something that I would hold as a pillar of my own analysis about this, is that this was very much about miscommunication of the family members, miscommunication of even the cast behind the scenes, and definitely miscommunication between the characters and us with each other. Because had we worked together on this, we could have saved Juglet. We could have done a lot of other things.
That wasn't the point, though. The point was to exhibit the absolute random spontaneity of this. This was a train wreck by design. Why do you think there was so much train symbolism?
Oh, everybody's like, yay, text is fixed, woo!
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it was half hoping that the viewers could pull off saving the day, and half thinking that it's the experiment itself. The content is the experiment of seeing if people are going to save it or fuck everything up. And it was half and half, actually. It was half and half.
I feel it was a meta commentary on the new season of Twin Peaks.
Oh goodness.
I both love and hated the return at the same time.
Now, that's a whole other kettle of fish.
That is neither here
That is
nor
a story there. for another time.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to like, no spoilers, not for that. It kind of has to be experienced.
Yeah. I do recommend if anybody does like the first Twin Peaks, they should see the second one, because it definitely is an experience.
Nick, I think that had this experiment gone longer than
The
8
Twin
days,
Peaks.
than 8 days, we would have definitely seen a lot more unity among the people who were doing it.
No, they're still here.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that one. If it had gone longer than 8 days, then the community would have pulled together because it would have been deeper in. But I guess it was a sense of...
confused about it, we would have left.
It seems like it was an attempt to pull together, like there's a subreddit and stuff, but it obviously didn't pan out that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on that subreddit right now, and everyone there seems to be as clueless as I am right now.
Something that's really odd
Yes,
to me. And
Dougie, just one word, and we're all like,
Jeffrey Brown, Dougie.
Yeah.
All for help.
Something that's tough for me with this is one episode of Tanking Mann in particular, the Rebecca's actually kind of tried to pull it together and talk about the show and open the line to viewers to call in and talk about their Cry of Man theories about what they think is going on and what they think is going to happen. And it did raise something that I'd already been thinking about when this began and when Tanking Man appeared, is something that was said, I believe, either over Twitter or in the live chat for Adult Swim, is that this is kind of in a way reflecting what you've done in relation to your work of covering Ram City stuff. That fucked me up a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Because it does have that nature of, here's this big event that everybody is watching, everybody is talking about, and they're going to come together afterwards and they're going to pick it apart and they're going to pull it back together and talk about it and raise their theories and their interpretations and analysis. And it's like, could this be a response to that? Maybe. Or could it just be something that we're seeing in it? Could it just be a really fun way of making fun of Chris Hardwick's show from after The Walking Dead? I'm sure that's mostly
Absolutely.
it. But
Absolutely. It's not just that. Like, that's spilled over into literally every show that AMC does now, even when it doesn't rhyme.
Really? Do they do that for like all their shows
There's
now?
Talking Preacher.
I think he's reading the.
Oh, that's just gross. That's kind of like circle jerking themselves, isn't it?
AM circle jerk.
Nothing.
What did you think of that one scene where the Wanderer and Frank were in the
Just to clarify, Nick, are you looking at both the Discord and the live chat, or are you also looking at the interruptions?
Yeah, I'm jumping between them.
Oh.
It's kind of hard to jump between them both. But
there's a lot going on. I mean, since I'm here, if you'd like, I can take a gander at one or the other and maybe help field comments and/or questions.
Yeah, you can take Discord here. I'll take YouTube.
All right. Should I be looking at general or dark room?
Looks like everybody's in general, so we'll stick with general.
All right.
I'll call out Shadow Snake here again, saying the link to the free Nightmind Discord is in the subreddit over on r/Nightmind. This is for the viewers.
I got a similar
to the free Nightmind.
Hi, people from general. Aww.
Discord is not this.
I love you too, Honoroi the Thanksgiver. Thank you for the three. Thank you for the greater than 3, greater than 3, greater than.
If you don't know, my name is Kayla.
Yeah, Kayla's here with me.
Someone called Night Pasta says, "Can Nightmind please say this is for Colin? Ball up a fist." Okay, ball up a fist. Who's all talking in the live stream? Stranger X9 says, "It's the voices from the orange phone."
Hi, honey.
Oh my god! Smash the face. Hello.
Ryuk says, "Do you think there are multiple endings, Nick?"
Convert you into furries.
Yeah, multiple endings. I think were planned based on. Well, that's just it. Is that if there's any, I always want to sit down and like interview the group after every freaking project that they do, just to say, what were you thinking? What was the entire process behind this? What inspired this? How did you go about writing this or coming up with it? What was on the spot? What was planned? And I really love to see an interview now, because I just want to figure out, was this one of those things where they had branching pathways that were planned? Was this all improv with a general sense of what they were going to do each night, guided by viewers? How much was written? How much was spontaneous? How much depended on viewer interaction, setting things up and making it right? We don't know.
The one thing I saw in the series that stuck out to me the most was
it takes dedication to do something like that. I mean, it's possible that they had multiple endings, or they were just, being an improv group, they could have worked it out all kinds of different ways. But like, man, what I wouldn't give to like sit down with them and just be like, tell me how your brain cases work.
Yeah.
Let me get in there. Just open that up and find out what makes you tick.
Those would be a fun group of people to interview.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Cricket, when she was doing her act as Courtney, she was incorporating the dance moves that people had given her, like a couple nights before,
right now.
Yeah, into her final thing that was happening, and I thought that was cool.
That reminds me. I have a theory about the orange phones and shut up. You know what I mean. I have a theory about the orange phones and the phones and the calling in and things that happen with people coming around. That the existence of Ghost Lady and the fact that Juglet becomes orange after his death kind of dispels that theory. But for a while, yesterday anyway, as I was watching things happen, I was thinking, I think I have an idea of what this might be relating to, and God help me, I don't want to talk about this in a video. But, the idea of something annoying, foreign, and orange, spewing venom into your head. You know,
Oh my god.
sometimes crazy, stupid things, constantly. You know, that's just that's as far as I'm gonna lead this horse to water. The rest of you pick up the pieces.
Is this a Reddit joke?
No, this is a decent human being
This is
joke.
a political joke.
Political.
No,
Political pulp.
it's not that.
But
It's not
no,
that.
no, I know it's not that. It's just something that I saw coming together the other night. But the existence of Ghost Lady as the orange force, and orange is just kind of representative of a void, you know, a spatial plane where we all come from somehow. And
Speaking of spatial planes,
Orange teeth.
what the hell was that slideshow we were looking at for like half of that scene when Frank first entered the void?
apparently, this is going to slip by people. This is something that does need to be spread. In the live chat, some people, I don't know if they were joking, but it seemed that enough different names were commenting on it that it might be true. Some people were saying that they were online pictures of them. Callers who had actually given like their full names and cities, which
Oh
would
my God,
explain why they asked for the city that we were from. Son of a bitch.
Perfect. That's
An
great.
epiphany. It's an apostrophe,
That's
if you will.
amazing.
Wait.
Because they needed the city, they needed the
If you
location
have someone's
in
name
order
and
to
have their
look them
city,
up on
you can
Facebook and get the
enough
pictures. Wow. Oh, Ren Cameron, I think they just got it. I feel with the references to Lovecraft, the reoccurrence of orange is a reference to the color out of space. You know what?
That is
That's
absolutely
probably
the
it.
truth.
That's
Because-
probably it.
But for those of you who don't read
Played us like
Lovecraft,
a damn fiddle.
So this
this is
goes
a
bust
very,
Tyler.
very, very cool short story.
Cut our strings.
Basically, a meteorite
Or they
crashes
Kojima.
in this farmer's yard
It's from
and
Ryuk.
starts
With a
leaking
lot of
this
numbers.
sort
An
of
adult cipher
cosmic
avatar.
color
Which I appreciate.
that just
Same.
melts everyone
Hi, Trina.
into goop and corruption.
Okay. Well,
What happened with Jack as he started mutating?
with
After he
Jack,
got-
with Courtney. Okay. Yep. And because this was written by Robbie and he was dropping so many Lovecraft references, and that was the secret to basically
But
getting Juglet to
there
not
was-
die, that's probably
There was
where the
still
source is.
So many. When Robbie was that first night.
Mighty Bob asked, "Hey Nick, do you have a good relationship with Wham City and Alan Resnick?"
I think so. And that's why I did not call in, because I did not want to interfere with their project. I never want to interfere with their projects, no matter how close I am to them, either, you know, publicly or privately.
Stranger X9, Nightmind is the name of the show. Nick Nocturne is the name of the cat daddy.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, verification.
Well timed, Daft. Well timed.
I can try my best.
And succeed. I don't think that there's. I want to believe that there's more to dig out of this and lay across the table as a big, this is what it is, and let me go through this like it's a big Saw revelation piece at the end of one of the movies, or, you know, a Batman plot reveal thing. But it is what it is. Once again, it's Children of the Mirror. The content is the message. Almost literally. Miscommunication, references to Lovecraft and allusions there.
Breaking down barriers between worlds.
Yeah.
And for all we know, it could just be a really successful hodgepodge of a bunch of stuff that, while having some idea where it was going, again, the Twin Peaks idea could have been just like, I put my hand on a hot car and suddenly I thought of the Red Room.
Yeah. I was telling the person I was with yesterday, when we watched it, that because they were asking me what I thought about it so far, and I said I'm pretty sure that this is like 50% Wham City just having fun with a really cool idea.
Exactly.
Yeah, that sounds like something they would do, though. And especially with a group like that, it might be nice to just take a break from something weird and deep and heavy and surreal
and
for a while,
complicated and convoluted,
lighter, but also heavy and surreal.
Yeah.
I mean, how heavy? I mean, I didn't think Live Forever as You Are was much heavy. Like,
yeah, but that wasn't
nothing.
No, but you do have to dig into it in order to find out what the big nasty secret is in there, or the one that's hinted at anyway.
But like when it comes to the stuff that Wham City Comedy specifically has done, like I'd say, for what this is me personally, this is my opinion, but I still think this House Has People in It was probably the biggest like deep dive of them.
Yeah, they put.
Quick tangent. We'll go ahead and reflect Cry of Man's process once again with this. Stranger X9 with their super chat. Hey Nick, have you seen the movie Mother by Darren Aronofsky? Yes, I did. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know exactly what happened with Mother and how I could not finish that movie because the major end house crowding scene was so intense it gave me a panic attack. So I walked out of that theater, and then I found out from the attendant at the front desk what happens after the baby is born, and I was doubly glad that I did not finish that movie, even though I did go back in just to try at least once. I couldn't hack it. Like as soon as the baby was born and things started up again, it's like no, I can't do this. So
there's no shame in knowing your limits. Like you gotta be careful the stuff you allow in your brain space, you know?
Yeah.
Like I've been watching a ton of horror movies lately, and I just saw Slither for the first time.
Oh, that's a great choice.
I mean, I've been doing fine for a while, but then I realized when it got to the real extreme body horror, I started to feel queasy. Not scared, but queasy, and I realized, oh, I guess my stomach can't handle this type of body horror.
Yeah, that's not your fault. That's definitely like there is a.
Chad, you can be a lot nicer to Nick. Come on.
Like,
everybody thinks that they can handle anything until they get surprised by something that they are completely shocked, pushes them over the edge. Mason, Nick's Fears had that a week after me when it came to Gerald's Game on Netflix. And apparently other people have been reporting the same experience with that and my experience with Mother as well. So I'm not the only one in this, and he's not the only one in this with Gerald's Game. So sometimes movies physically hurt you.
It's completely true.
Yeah. Or at least at least affect you in such a way that you can't get it out of your head easily. I can still, recall. I'm always really careful about it. To be honest, as someone who, even though enjoys horror as a concept and other dark media and literature and all that jazz, I actually don't watch a lot of horror movies.
No, I'm totally the same.
I'm always cautious about what mental images are going to stick with me. I've gotten better at that, but when I was a lot younger, couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
There are some psychological horror movies. There are some psychological horror movies that they try to be deep, but all they really do is just burn shocking images into your mind. Which is why I only stick with slasher movies.
So this is a good comment here that gets us back on track. Unlike the after show Tanking Mann, Jackal Troy says, just like yelling at a character in a horror movie not to go into the basement, I feel like we learned that even if we could talk to the characters, the plot will play out exactly the way it's meant to. Well, that's just the thing, is that if they come out and say that we had no effect. If they come out and say that we had no effect on the plot whatsoever, then there we go. That's our message. Sort of. But if it was a case that we could have saved people at certain points, which was pretty heavily hinted at right after Juglet's death, then that's more of the case that we're looking at. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like looking at that concept of what if you could speak to the characters in a situation and tell them what you're thinking. Like, I know that everybody's had that. They've watched a show or a movie, and they've just wanted to walk through the room and sit down and talk to that character and say, this is what's happening. This is what you should do. Everybody's been there. But this is literally doing it.
The number of times people have yelled at the screen, don't go in there, don't go in there.
Yeah.
Because we can't.
The more you guys are talking about this, the more you guys are selling me on watching this. I kept going, I'll set it aside, but now I'm like, actually, this sounds really cool.
Oh, it was.
Holy crap,
It's
it sounds
completely
really
worth
cool.
watching. Like, nobody confuse any feelings I have about a lack of enthusiasm for having a jigsaw puzzle with this one for not enjoying it, because I loved it. I absolutely loved this experience. It's just, this time it's kind of like the whole thing of expecting a cake from somebody who always makes cakes, and they bring you a pie that's also delicious. It's a pie. Don't hate it because it's not a cake. They still made you a pie. Enjoy that pie, you son of a bitch. So that's where I'm at right now. Is they made a pie. The last one was like a half pie, half cake mix. This one is like almost full pie with hints of cake. You can't hate it because it's not a cake. Enjoy the pie. Enjoy the lemon pie for a Troll Day.
Lemon muffins.
Yeah, lemon
Pancakes.
muffins.
Oh, I blew it.
You just made a bunch of people hungry now.
A couple people have asked, and I guess this is someone in very cryptic text. Christian says, "Speaking of Jigsaw, did you see the movie?"
Nah,
Random capitalizations.
Yeah.
waiting to see if I've got, a night worth spending it on.
Night worth wasting.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, what are your what are your horror options right now that are coming out? You got Jigsaw, and then I guess Leatherface.
Nope.
I mean,
Two movies that everyone totally.
I've never been big on. Happy Death Day.
Oh, and it is actually still out in theaters.
Happy Death Day was fun. That was a fun time.
Yeah, I gotta hand it to Blumhouse. They always come up with some neat premises for horror movies.
Although they also did Gem and the Holograms.
Well, they can't all be winners.
They can't all be winners. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Stick to horror movies, Blumhouse, please.
How long have we been going at this now, guys? I mean,
Probably about 45 minutes.
25 minutes?
10,000 years.
Yeah.
It's been about then.
It's
8
been,
days.
yeah.
The notification for this stream actually woke me up.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Wait.
Let's take a look.
It's
here.
been.
Yeah, it's been a little while since we did this.
Somebody once told me.
Oh my God, we have the person who drew the picture of me that showed up on Courtney's bed frame in the episode last night. Sulfurous
Oh,
acid.
that's beautiful.
Good for you, Sulfurous. Thank you.
Wow.
Nice.
That was cool. Yeah, that was a cool
Have
Easter
you
egg
seen
that I
that,
noticed
Super
earlier on
Chat?
Twitter. Anyhow, I think we can wrap this up here. I guess I just wanted to jump on here very sporadically and talk about this with somebody, and it turned out to be a pretty good reflection of the media that was consumed in the first place. I might have a more concrete video about it and incorporate pieces of this, or I don't know. I don't know. It's immediately after Halloween. I stayed up. I slept so little and stayed up so long and just almost destroyed myself this time again. So you know what? Let's if a video happens, a video happens. But for now, let's all just sit back and wait for people to catch up on the archive streams on Adult Swim's website. My final take, Cry of Man was awesome. It was not at all what I expected and not what we usually expect from Wham City, at least from the things that I'm seeing right now and the things that I'm seeing before doing another study of it in my own personal time to kind of put pieces together. I'm not seeing unedited footage of a bare Wham City here. I'm seeing more Children of the Mirror Wham City, but having more fun and focusing less on making an artistic statement to us. But that's just fine. Like I said, cake versus pie, equally great. Don't be mad because you got a pie. Enjoy it.
You son of
Enjoy
a
your
bitch.
damn fine coffee with either or, and you're good.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody else got something to say before we sign off here?
There may be an issue with the
You know,
records left
I gotta
on
hand it to you.
elsewhere.
This is a great way to
I
reflect
like
the medium you're
dialogue.
covering by having this impromptu chat. So it's really nice when thematically it all comes together, even if it's clumsy.
Yeah. What were you saying,
I
Jeff?
will relay that message to the crew, Honoroi. Thank you.
There is no Nocturne, only Zool.
There is no Nocturne, only Georgie F.
I mean, oh, trust me. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Got some bad news about Ha. I assume that means happy, happy. Yes, I know. We're leaving it alone for a while. We've gone through a big saga with that, and I think it's time to move on to something a little nicer for a change. But more importantly, the main show I do is back, and that's the only plug I'm going to do.
Well, I guess we can talk about it more in the next Moonlight Chat, because God knows that
That's
we need to
fair.
have one soon. Well, we'll do a
Cool.
roundtable. I think we'll offer the hosting position to Jack for this coming one, because he's
All right.
had a rough time recently.
Bet.
But
Well, I'll be. Well, I'm pretty sure, depending on when it happens, I'll be able to make the next one. And I enjoyed listening to the previous one. So
yeah, you were missed.
Yeah.
You were missed, my friend. But we'll catch you on the next
I
one.
missed you guys too.
Yeah.
That wedding was pretty awesome.
Yeah, the wedding. Well, we'll hear from you about it on the next one. We're sure.
Bet.
In case-
Cracked Mac is David King, or David Dyrne, or the voice of David Dyrne.
Yeah, from the Night Vale episode that I did. But we'll call it a wrap on this one, guys. Thank you all for
Alrighty.
jumping in here on Minding Man, the first, only, and last episode ever. Not sponsored by any draft lattes or stupid things. All
I'm
right,
like
guys.
an overpowering man with yellow teeth standing over your bed.
Orange
He'll be
teeth.
seeing you again real soon.
Sleep tight.
Happy Troll Day, everybody.
Happy Troll Day. All right, everybody. Good night. Thanks for tuning in.